everybody, today in our kitchen safety lesson we are going to be learning about electric mixers. So I have two types of electric mixers here. I have a standing electric mixer and a handheld electric mixer, and we're going to talk about both of them. So first let's talk about the different parts. So here on the mixer there is a speed dial. You can see it's got different numbers on it, 1 to 10, and those are the speeds. And there's also this black button that I can press, and that is going to release the beaters. And the beaters I'm going to put in here. So here's the beaters. This is what we use to mix. So I would put them in to the mixer until I hear a click. That means it's went in. Click. They're both in. If I do this, they're not going to fall out, and that's important. You don't want them to fall out while you're cooking. And when I'm finished cooking and I'm ready to clean them, the way I release them is by pressing this button. And then they pop out. And there's one more part. So we have the speed dial, we have the beater release, we have the beaters. There's also a cord. Now this beater is super old, so this cord is not great, but that's okay. So you can see on the side here, that's where I'm going to put the cord in, just like that. And then I would plug this in to the wall for electricity. Okay, so that's the hand mixer. Now we're going to look at the stand mixer. And this mixer is similar, has all the same parts as the hand one. We have a cord that we're going to plug in when we're ready to make it turn on. The beater looks a little bit different. So on this one, this is what I'm going to use as my beater, and it comes with a couple different ones that I could use depending on what I'm doing. But we're just going to use this one. And instead of clicking it in, I just put it on this metal piece here and twist. And again, I know it's on because it's not going to fall down into whatever I'm making. So there's no beater release button on this one. You just twist it to get it off and twist it to get it on. But there is a speed dial. Let's bring it a little closer. So just like on the other one, there's a speed dial. And it goes from 0 to 10, same, and you would just move it to go faster. Okay, so let's start talking about some of the safety around using an electric mixer. So the first thing we want to remember is that we should always, if we're putting the beater on or doing anything around it to start with, you want it to be unplugged so that you don't hurt yourself. Because if it's accidentally plugged in and on and you try to put it on, it won't be good. So, both my mixers were off, not plugged in. Now that they have the beaters in them, I can plug them in. Okay, now another safety thing is when you're turning on a beater, you always want it to start at the lowest speed. So don't go all the way to 5 or all the way to 10. Start at 1, start nice and slow, and then build up faster. So if I was cooking something, I would just turn it to the 1. And you'll see how much faster it can get. So always start at the lowest speed when you are turning it on. Now the next safety rule is you don't really, if you're going to be adding ingredients in, you don't want the mixer to be on. Let me just, I gotta turn this up. Actually, I guess it doesn't matter. We're not putting anything in there right now. So if it's on, I don't want to be adding ingredients really while it's turning, unless the recipe says that. And so I would turn it off and then add ingredients and then turn it back on again. The other thing is you don't want to get your hand near to any of the moving parts. So I want to keep my fingers away from the beaters. Also, sometimes you need to scrape your bowl. The stuff gets stuck on the edges of the bowl. So you might need to scrape it like with a spatula. And if you're doing that, then you want to stop it, scrape, and then turn it on again. Okay? And same thing if you were using this in a bowl, you would want to scrape first, stop, and then put it in again. Okay. And again, if you are removing the beaters, then you want to unplug it, take the cord out, and remove the beaters that way. Don't remove them while they are still plugged in. Okay, so that's everything for our electric mixer safety lesson, and I look forward